Hello all, I am the Holon Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle in the 2014 format. On one side, we've got the Blastoise and Black Kyurem deck going up against the Hydreigon deck. The Blastoise deck is going to be focused on using Blastoise's ability Deluge to quickly power up attackers on its side of the field like Keldeo and Black Kyurem. And the Hydreigon deck is going to be focused on using Hydreigon's ability Dark Trance to move darkness energies around on its side of the field to quickly power up powerful Pokemon like Yveltal EX and Darkrai EX. So we'll see which of these two decks can make the victory today. But before we begin, I'd like to highlight our fan picks for the week, so big thank you to Discord users Redhead Games and Javier Morales for submitting their Pokemon pictures. And if you'd like to have your Pokemon pictures featured in a future video, please be sure to join our Discord, which I'll link in the description below. And like always, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter account at Holon_Phantom so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle! And here we go, the battle has started, with both players moving over their starting Pokemon. On the Blastoise side, we've got a Black Kyurem as the active Pokemon, and on the Hydreigon side, we've got Darkrai as the active Pokemon, with the Dino on the bench. The Blastoise side is going first, activating a level ball to then search the deck for a Squirtle, which then comes down onto the field. It's going to be evolving into Blastoise later in the game. And next we see an Ultra Ball being activated, discarding a Wartortle and N to search the deck for any other Pokemon to add to the hand. Okay, there we see a second Squirtle coming down just in case the first one gets KO'd. The player's going to be having a second one ready to go. Okay, there we see the supporter for the turn, N. It's going to be forcing both players to shuffle away their hands to draw 6 cards apiece. 1 card for each of the remaining prizes. So there we see the 6 cards being drawn by both players. Let's see what else the Blastoise player can do for their first turn. They can still attach an energy card. Actually, but that's going to be it. The turn's going to be passing over to the Hydreigon side. They're going to be benching a second Dino and a second Darkrai. Oh, and that was it. Okay, also no energies and no trainer cards at all. That was a really slow turn for the Hydreigon player. On the other side, there we see a rare candy to evolve one of the Squirtle into the first Blastoise of the game. And there we see another N. Once again, forcing both players to shuffle away their hands for another 6 cards. So let's see if this new hand can actually help out the Hydreigon player, because they did not have a very good hand last time. Okay, it's still the Blastoise player's turn. They're going to be benching Keldeo now. And then we see the manual attachment, a lightning energy on the active Black Kyurem. And that was it! Wow, no water energies! Quickly back over to the Hydreigon side. Okay, finally they get an energy card. Darkness energy on the active Darkrai, along with the Shadow Circle as their stadium card. And another N, this time from the Hydreigon player for the 3rd time, forcing both players to shuffle away their hands, drawing 6 new cards again. Does the Hydreigon player have any evolutions to play down? They need a rare candy and a Hydreigon for this turn. Okay, they don't have the rare candy, but they do have the Zweilous to evolve one of their Dino, and that's going to be it. Let's see what the Blastoise player can do. They're going to be dropping their own stadium card. Tropical Beach, swapping out the Shadow Circle from the other side. There we see Ultra Ball, discarding Keldeo and another Tropical Beach from the hand for another Pokemon from the deck. So now let's see what they're going to be getting. It's going to be a Voltorb this time. So Voltorb, once it evolves into Electrode, can be used to draw cards out of the deck. And there's a supporter card. It's going to be Skyla this time to then search the deck for any trainer card to add to the player's hand. It's going to be the Professor's Letter, which then searches out 2 water energies to add to the player's hand, which can then be quickly accelerated using Blastoise's ability. So if the player already has an energy card in hand, they can use the Black Ballista to take the KO against Darkrai. Oh, but the player only attached 2 water energies, and they're going to be ending the turn by using Tropical Beach. And now they can draw until they have 7 cards in hand, so if they get a water energy, they can take the KO. Oh, but they reveal their hand to the camera, and they don't have a single water energy yet. They just needed 1 more to take the first KO. Okay, over to the other side, there we see a Blend Energy coming down to the Darkrai. It counts as, let's see, I think it's a Darkness Energy, Psychic Energy, Fire Energy, and a Grass Energy. And there we see a Level Ball to search the deck for a Sableye, which then comes down to the bench. Okay, let's see if the player has any evolution cards to evolve their Zweilous this turn. Not yet, but there we see another Shadow Circle to replace their opponent's Tropical Beach. And then we see Professor Sycamore to discard the rest of the hand and draw 7 brand new cards. Is this going to be the turn? Do they finally have their Hydreigon? They don't have enough energy yet to start attacking, though. They need 3 energies for the Darkrai. And yes, they finally got Hydreigon. Okay, Darkrai is going to be retreating for free, using its ability Night Cloak to promote Sableye. And now there we see the Hydreigon ability Dark Trance, moving 1 Darkness Energy off Darkrai onto the active Sableye so it can at least attack for the turn. And it's going to be attacking with Junk Hunt to search the discard pile for a level ball and a rare candy to add back into the player's hand. Okay, back over to the other side. Okay, the player finally got their water energy, but it's a little too late. They can still take the KO, but it's only going to be for a single prize into this Sableye. Okay, they benched a second Black Kyurem. And there's the attack. Black Ballista taking the KO against Sableye and taking the first prize of the game. Okay, now the Darkrai is going to be coming back into the active spot. But now it's only got 1 energy on it. Okay, there we see a Dark Patch to get back a discarded Darkness Energy to equip onto the bench Darkrai. So if the player has an energy card in hand, they can move the benched energy to the active Pokemon to fully power it up. Yeah, there's the second attachment. There's an Yveltal coming down to the bench, followed by Colress as their new supporter. The player's going to be shuffling away their hand, and then drawing 1 card for every benched Pokemon on both sides of the field. It's going to be a total of 9 cards. Okay, it's going to be a huge hand. They've got to get at least... Actually, I was about to say they have to get at least 1 more energy, but they already have all 3. Let's see what else they can do. They're going to be activating an Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards from the hand for any Pokemon from the deck. And it's going to be another Hydreigon. So if they have the rare candy, they can get a second one into play. Yeah, so we see the rare candy evolving the bench Dino into a second Hydreigon, just in case the first one goes down. And there we see Yveltal EX coming down to the bench. Darkrai is going to be retreating to promote the Yveltal EX. It just needs 2 energy to use its first attack, and then 3 energy for the second one. There's Dark Trance moving, I think it's all 3. Yeah, all 3 energy onto the active Pokemon. So let's see which attack is going to be used. And it's going to be... Okay, it's going to be the Y Cyclone, which moves the blend energy off itself onto the bench Darkrai, and then hits Black Kyurem for 90 damage. Just 1 more attack will take the KO. Oh, but the Blastoise player is going to be activating a Max Potion to heal all that damage off Black Kyurem. It does have to discard its lightning energy, but the player also has the superior energy retrieval, discarding 2 cards from the hand for up to 4 energy cards from the discard pile. So they should be getting back, yeah, the lightning energy plus 3 water energies to quickly power up its Black Ballista attack for the 1-hit KO. All the energy comes down thanks to the Deluge ability on the Blastoise. Okay, before the attack, they're going to be activating their own Colress now for the full value. It's going to be a total of 10 cards drawn, as each player has a full bench of 5 Pokemon apiece. Okay, so a really good turn for the Blastoise player. They healed their active Pokemon, quickly powered it up, and then refreshed their hand. And not only that, the Voltorb finally evolves into Electrode, and there we see Rare Candy to evolve Squirtle into a second Blastoise. And finally, there's the attack. Black Ballista taking the KO against Yveltal and taking 2 more prize cards. There are 3 prizes in the lead now. And the Hydreigon player has not dealt any damage. Or at the very least, the damage they did deal got healed away. Okay, there we see the Darkrai coming back into the active spot. The player activates another Dark Patch, getting the Darkness energy onto their bench Darkrai now. Do they have another energy in hand? Not yet, but there we see N. Okay, so all those cards that were just drawn by the Blastoise player are going to be shuffled away. And now they can only draw 3 cards. While the Hydreigon player still draws all 6. Let's see if they can make a comeback. There's a manual attachment. Darkness energy onto the active Darkrai. And there's Dark Trance, moving another energy from the bench up to the active Pokemon, so it's now fully powered up. There's the attack. Night Spear hitting the active Black Kyurem for 90 damage, and also targeting the benched Black Kyurem for 30 damage. Okay, so let's see if the Blastoise player can draw into another superior energy retrieval to power up their active Pokemon for another KO. Okay, there's the Deluge. Attaching... Okay, it's going to be attaching a water energy onto the benched Keldeo now. And there's Magnetic Draw from the Electrode. The player can draw until they have 4 cards in hand, so they only drew 1. And now Keldeo is going to be activating its ability Rush In to jump into the active spot. Oh, and that's going to be it. The player didn't have any more cards to play, so Keldeo jumped into the active spot to prevent the KO on the Black Kyurem. On the other side, there we see the manual attachment, Darkness Energy on a bench Darkrai, followed by Lysander to bring the Black Kyurem back into the active spot for the KO. There's the attack, another Night Spear, taking the KO against the active Black Kyurem, and then hitting the benched one for another 30 damage. And now Darkrai's taking their first 2 prizes. They're still 1 prize behind, but they are making a comeback. Okay, the Keldeo is going to be jumping back into the active spot now. It still needs 2 more energies to start attacking. So let's see if the Blastoise player drew anything useful. They're going to be benching Squirtle now, followed by using a Level Ball for any Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Okay, it's going to be a failed search. They didn't get anything. Followed by a Pokemon Catcher. Here's a coin flip. Let's see if it works. And it's a Tails. Okay, so nothing happens. But I think the player's just going to be trying to thin down their hand so they can draw more cards with Magnetic Draw. Speaking of which, there it is, to draw 2 cards. And they drew into a Colress. Okay, so this might help. They're going to be drawing 9 cards after they shuffle away their hand. So let's see if they get the Superior Energy Retrieval. So they might be using it to power up the Black Kyurem to take the KO against Darkrai this turn. There we see a Deluge, attaching 2 energies onto the active Keldeo. Actually, it looks like the Keldeo is going to be the attacker for the turn, hitting with Secret Sword for 110 damage. Okay, over to the other side. The player's going to be starting off by using an Ultra Ball, discarding Professor Sycamore and a Darkness Energy for any Pokemon from the deck. And they're going to be choosing Virizion to add to their hand. Virizion can hit Keldeo for weakness. Okay, but they're going to be benching an Yveltal, actually, followed by another Dark Patch. Getting back another Darkness Energy. Onto the Yveltal now. Followed by Professor Sycamore to discard the rest of their hand. Okay, so they're not going to be using the Virizion. They just wanted to get it out of the deck before activating the supporter card. Drawing 7 new cards. Let's see what else they get. There's a Dark Trance, moving... looks like all 3 energy off the active Darkrai onto the benched Yveltal. So either it's going to be the new attacker or the player has a Max Potion. Yes, it's going to be the Max Potion. Completely healing the Darkrai of all the damage. And this way it doesn't have to discard all of its energy cards. Okay, it's going to be the Dark Trance once again, moving the energy back onto the active Pokemon to fully refresh it. And there's the attack. Another Night Spear, hitting Keldeo for 90 damage. And Black Kyurem for another 30. It's taken 90 damage so far on the bench. So if it comes into the active spot, a single Night Spear can take the KO. Unless the player has a Max Potion to heal it. Okay, Keldeo's going to be paying the manual retreat cost, moving back to the bench to promote the Black Kyurem. So the player might already have the Superior Energy Retrieval. Yes, that's going to be the play. Discarding a Tool Scrapper and Professor Juniper for 4 energy cards. So it's going to be 3 Waters and 1 Lightning for the KO. Yeah, there they are. But like I said, Black Kyurem has taken 90 damage already. So 1 more Night Spear from the second Darkrai can take the KO against it. There's all the energy coming down. And there's the attack. Black Ballista taking the KO against Darkrai. Taking 2 more prize cards, and now Blastoise is down to just 1 more prize card remaining. As long as they can take 1 more KO, they will win this game. There we see the next Darkrai coming into the active spot. There's already 2 energy in play. And there's the third one. The manual attachment comes down, so the Dark Trance can fully power up the Darkrai for the KO this turn. There it is. Does the player have anything else to do for the turn? And then we see another End coming down. Once again, forcing the Blastoise player to shuffle away their hand. And now they're only going to be drawing 1 card. But they can still use Electrode to draw some more on their following turn. There's the attack. Night Spear, taking the KO against Black Kyurem. And it looks like it also hit the benched Keldeo, so it should be up to 120 damage. And now Hydreigon takes 2 more prize cards. So they're still 1 prize behind. On the other side, we see Keldeo in the active spot is going to be getting a Lightning Energy. And there's Magnetic Draw to draw 3 cards out of the deck. And there's Superior Energy Retrieval, discarding Skyla and Startling Megaphone for 4 water energies. So if they attach them onto Keldeo, it's going to be hitting for, let's see, 150 damage. Not quite enough for the 1-hit KO. And there's Deluge. Oh, actually, all the energy is going to be coming down to the Blastoise. One of the Blastoise is going to be the new attacker. So there we see Keldeo paying the retreat cost, going back to the bench. So Blastoise can at least start softening up this Darkrai. And once it gets KO'd, it's only going to be giving up a single prize. There's the attack Hydro Pump from Blastoise, hitting for 100 damage. So another Hydro Pump can take the KO for the final prize. Okay, on the other side there we see Blend Energy coming down to the Yveltal, followed by Jirachi coming down to activate the ability. Stellar Guidance, searching the deck for any supporter card to add to the hand. It's going to be the Skyla. And now Skyla's going to be searching out the Max Potion to fully heal this Darkrai once again, taking all the damage off to reset it from the previous turn. There's Dark Trance, moving the energy off of Darkrai onto the Yveltal. And actually, I think Yveltal can take the one-hit KO against Blastoise. There we see the Max Potion to heal the damage off the Darkrai. And, okay, it looks like Darkrai's still going to be the attacker. It's going to be getting all 3 energy back onto itself. And it's also going to be getting a Muscle Band to give it 20 more attack points. There's the attack Night Spear hitting the active Blastoise for 110 damage, and the benched Blastoise for 30 damage. So even if the active one retreats to promote the benched one, they're both going to be KO'd by another Night Spear. Okay, on the other side there we see another Magnetic Draw to start off the turn. Drawing 2 cards from the deck. And there's Deluge attaching a single Water Energy to Keldeo, followed by Professor Juniper, discarding the rest of the hand. Drawing 7 brand new cards. Okay, the player only has, I think it's 2 cards left in deck. They need to draw into their next Black Kyurem and Superior Energy Retrieval to take the KO. But it looks like they just attached a Water Energy onto their Keldeo. Blastoise is going to be paying the manual retreat cost, discarding all 4 Water Energy to promote the Keldeo. Okay, let's see if the player has enough Water Energy to power up this Keldeo. They can take the one-hit KO against Darkrai. Let's see how many energies they get. They get 4, so it's going to be a total of 6 energy for 120 plus 50, 170 damage. 170 damage. Do they have just 1 more energy for the one-hit KO? Darkrai has 180 HP. Do they have 1 more? And... oh, no, they don't! There's the attack. Secret Sword hitting for only 170 damage. Just 10 damage short of the one-hit KO, and that's going to be the game. Yeah, there's the final attack. Night Spear taking the KO against Keldeo to take the final 2 prize cards. And there's the handshake. Hydreigon is your winner. Oh, and there we see the player revealing their final card. Yeah, Black Kyurem, Keldeo, and the Dowsing Machine were the final cards left. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holon Phantom logging out.